So I like to explain you a little bit from a different view, from a view of a small company, which is JA-G. It's a family-owned company in this business. So I like to explain you a little bit who is JA-G, what are our bullet points and unique selling points. I also like to touch a little bit critical aspects of the hydrogen market with a focus of mobility. I also like to tell you a little bit about missing hydrogen up to now. So we see projects running, but green hydrogen is still missing. And I also finally like to talk a little bit about the future of hydrogen mobility. So we are founded 1989 by myself and an English organization. We are located in the north of Germany, near Hanover. And our mission is we deliver everything from a single source. That means we are offering the planning of a system, the safety approval, the installation, the automation. So we are real system realizers. Our history comes from the automotive industry, and we built for many, many years emission calibration gas systems. But as you know, the combustion engine technology is not in a moving point at the moment. So therefore, we moved since 2014, we start to move to the hydrogen applications. We are right now around 120 employees. We have 10 to 15% growth per year with around 50 million euros hydrogen sales in this year. We are a company where innovation is the biggest driver. So we're realizing projects, we're modifying projects, we're modifying products. And we also have winners in this category. In Germany, we are one of the top 100 innovators for several years. And we are also members of the German Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Association. On the picture, you see the next generation. That's my daughter with myself. My son is in a company. So it's a typical German family organization. We have a large scope of customers in this market, mostly automotive driven. We have 60% actually export sales activities, and the rest is Europe and Germany. We already have received large numbers of projects in the automotive industry with hydrogen. This means we have now experience. And we focus our activities at the moment on hydrogen production. What I like to show you a little bit, hydrogen filling and infrastructure, and also on hydrogen test facilities. So all these products, what we heard before, they need to be tested, they need to be checked if they really fulfill customer requirements. So give you a little bit a picture about our solutions, what we deliver. Our focus actually is now hydrogen applications. We heard in the presentations before, IM technology is also for us a big driver. We build test benches, fuel cell applications, hydrogen filling. We have our own hydrogen test center since 2018. This is where all the OEMs from the automotive industry coming with their products, with their cars, with their vehicles to test them in filling, or we're also testing hydrogen systems, or for example, the same we do this with electrolyzers. Automation and digitalization is also a big issue, but we also deliver the after-sales service for our customers. That means we not leave the customers alone with a system. We build the system, and later on we also service and maintenance the system for these kinds of customers. This is also critically important. So give you a little bit pictures from realized projects. In this market, you have a lot of players. They show you only drawings, and we have said we have to show the market. We are a bit more upfront. We have realized projects, and you see a couple of IM electrolyzers on the first pictures. We also build tank systems, filling concepts for these kinds of the industry. And on the end of the day, you see on the bottom pictures with vehicles, which we filled up on our facility to put them in operations. So we are needed for this industry to realize projects. We also build high pressure testing applications. So we have test centers to test high pressure tanks up to 700 bars, consumption testing, end of line applications, and also aging tests for electrolyzer stacks, what we heard before. We are fans from decentralized applications, for example, for hydrogen filling stations, together with green hydrogen electrolyzers for 350 bar and 700 bar applications, and to build cost-effective fleet owner solutions. We have also a big project with customers. They know there is still an infrastructure problem in the market about refilling of trucks. Trucks have a big need on hydrogen per filling of a heavy-duty truck. We talk about 60 to 100 kilogram hydrogen filling. Therefore, there are not already enough filling stations in the countries, and we build mobile solutions which allows fleet owners to fill up their own trucks on their facility. And these projects is at the moment running for us, but I can't show you real pictures on that. It's not allowed at the moment. So I show you a drawing in this case. You saw this picture before from Enapter. So we are a partner from Enapter to building up IM electrolyzers. At the moment, we have built a large numbers of electrolyzers, and they're running since a couple of years. So we have electrolyzers in the field. They have now more than some 1,000 hours on the book, and they're still running good. So we can really believe in this kind of technology for us. And they can be optimized, of course, and this is what we also see in the next couple of years. We see a lot of developments in this kind of products, and also we will see a lot of price reduction in these kinds of products. This is another picture which shows you an application together, electrolyzer and multifunction filling of 300 bar forklifts, for example. So this is a prototype container which we deliver at the moment to customers for rent. So they use this kind of system to have a showcase in front of their facility if hydrogen usage is really an option for them. Another picture, what you see here, it's built in the south of Germany. It's one of the famous projects where we have a test center where everything is required, a big compressor systems to fulfill the requirements, have a large hydrogen storage. The green stones shows you everything on this facility is really running with green technology, and we scale them up with IM electrolyzers. A little word about IM electrolyzers from our side as well. We talked about aging. We talked about how you displace systems. All these customers require 24/7 usage for their applications. For every downtime, they have problem. With the IM technology, we are able with these small stacks to run a part of the system still ongoing and replace other ones for maintenance and service. This is one of the big reasons why IM has a big advantage in our understanding as well. to change a PEM stack in an electrolyzer means you have at least a 1 week downtime of the system, or you need to build up any kind of a backup. So this is our prototype test center, which is located here in the north of Hanover, where we're testing components, where we allow really fast filling of hydrogen. We have our own fleet on fuel cell application cars, and we also allow prototype testing of forklifts, buses, trucks, whatever comes up. So we also like to talk about a little bit about our bullet points about JA-G. JA-G is one of the key players in the hydrogen R&D sector in Europe. We have already supplied products and service in more than 80 projects all over the world, mostly automotive and aerospace applications. So we're not looking in steel or chemical applications. There's too much to do for us. And we are experts since 30 years in gas and fluid technology, which we deliver to the market. We have in-house, and I also like to announce this a little bit, you need experts for this kind of technology. And you need engineers, you need people so they have an understanding about how you build the systems, and we have them available, and we build the systems with our employees. They are very good prepared in hydrogen technology. JA-G is a perfect player and partner to realize non-standard green hydrogen projects. So that means we're not interested in any kind of standard applications, what we build day in and day out. We're really interested in projects where we build unique systems and where we optimize them to the next step. This is one of our main drivers. We call it a speedboat of the industry. So the big players, the big OEMs need us to realize the projects. For if they have not the internal resources, if they have not the short ways to activate and to handle these kinds of projects, they use us to make it. We expect by 2025 also a double of our turnover and of our numbers of employees. We call it's the project plus 100. We have the space available. We have bought the land for where we can do this in the future. But again, we have a different view. We need the capital from external to do this kind of development. 85% of our sales actually based on hydrogen demonstrator projects. So this is critically important. Before you ramp up all these nice requirements, what we heard before, how you get the market running, you need demonstrators. Customers want to see how these systems really running. They want to get an understanding. Everybody knows now there is a large growth in this market. We have an extreme high potential of inquiries, and we can really say in the next 10 years, there is not enough production capacity in Europe, US, and on the Canadian market as well, in my understanding. We have already 80 million euros of inquiries, which we cannot deliver. So that means we really pick up the kinds of projects where we think they are interesting for us and which have the highest margin, to be fair. So this is where we heavily spend a focus on that. Actually, what I said before, we have more than 100 Enapter electrolyzers delivered to the market, and we are quite happy with them, and we run as a partner for Enapter to run these kinds of systems. I also like to show you a little bit about the critical points of the hydrogen market. I think we can see all the advantages, but there's also a little bit in the market what I like to be announced, what we have to see from a critical point. First of them, there are a lot of players in the market. They think they are expert. But if you have less than 3 years experience in this market, in our understanding, this is not really an expert. Not all players which we see actually in the market will survive in the next years. Some of them are already too late. So especially in the automotive industry, they're not acting quick enough for these requirements. And we heard this before, the chicken and egg problem, and part of them is in the automotive industry. Several projects which we see at the moment will have a problem with the permits, and they are already short in budget. One of the reasons is, there's a big price increase in the last 2 years, and from there we see really a problem if you have financial approval for this kind of a project and suddenly they run 12, 18 months before they get realized, there's suddenly a price problem on the table. Green hydrogen applications, we believe, will not be cheap for years. The reason is nothing is standardized. And before that has happened, we expect blue hydrogen is also needed. Blue hydrogen will be cheaper in the next years before the hydrogen price for green hydrogen will come down. From the economic hydrogen projects, we have to talk about, we need a power price of 6 cents per kilowatt hour, from where you can say it makes really sense to achieve a price of hydrogen approximately 5 to 6 euros per kilogram. So that gives you a little bit a picture from where we realize the projects and from where we have the experience how that has happened. We have actually 2 possible projects in our scope for the next future to run this industry. We like the idea to deliver mobile electrolyzers for rent or pay-per-use concepts to the market to help the market to grow. This has a low permit request, and we can also realize a fast install. If we do this only for Germany, we talk about at least 10 systems a year with a volume of 1.5 million. So that means there's an invest required for 15 million if we like to run this kind of a project. A second one, what we see on the filling solutions of hydrogen is also built on mobile filling solutions for mobility and aviation in our understanding. If we deliver 10 systems, they can be, depends of the size, if they are heavy-duty trucks or smaller cars. So we talk about 2 to 4 million per project. So this can be also something about 20 to 40 million euros, what we see at the moment as a project for us to grow. There's no way out. We need green hydrogen, and so that we will have a real focus on electrolyzer systems, and they need to be implemented in the market in a quick way. Yes, we heard Germany and Europe will be an important market, but we also expect we need local solutions, on-site, decentralized systems to deliver this to the market. If you see the costs at the moment on mobility filling stations of 12 to 13 euros per kilogram, you see there's not a price decrease. The years before we had a price of 9.50, so that means there's still a price increase per kilogram, which is not good to grow the market. Finally, I like also to show you a little bit, not green alone will help to grow the market. You can see really in this picture, there is a big requirement for blue hydrogen as well. And I think we have to accept blue hydrogen, especially on the carbon capture technology, will have a place in the market in our understanding, and we will also take an eye on that. So I think in my understanding, I'm a little bit quick, but this is now the final page to give you on mobility also a little bit a view what we expect, how the market will be developed. Hydrogen mobility is not only required for heavy duty or medium duty vehicles. We also think there is a big request on larger cars, medium-sized cars, vans. We heard this before in a presentation. I have also a big need on hydrogen. The reason is a lot of users and a lot of customers asking for 1,000 kilometers distance as a must. So, and this is important to the infrastructure. The infrastructure cannot build quick enough to have hundreds of filling stations in place in the next couple of years. So to help the market, to help this technology, the vehicles must have a request for a much longer distance, especially in compensation to the battery cars, what we see at the moment. A lot of customers have their doubts to buy an electric car, which has 400 or 500 kilometer distance available. So from that point, we understand this will be a big issue and we will see a big movement. Yes, we see also the big market of the trucks at the moment. We see a lot of applications in aviations and ships, but on ships, I think also liquid fuels will be a big point in the future. And we have to put them all together to reduce the CO2 footprint, which is required. So finally, this is a little bit the final picture of our company here in Hanover. And I like to say thank you for your attention. And I'm now available for a couple of questions. And finally, if you like to also to contact me, you can do it on LinkedIn or on other channels as well.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have still a couple of minutes left for questions. So far, there are none in the chat, but I have some.
Okay.
So, what's JAG's vision for the future, and how does the company plan to contribute to the advancement of hydrogen applications in the automotive industry as a whole?
I do this business, as I told, more than 30 years. And I have never seen a gold mining situation in hydrogen as now. It's unbelievable. And, you know, it's for me as the owner of the company, a real pain if you cannot deliver what the market requires. So our growth is limited on financial issues. We are a private organization, but also limited on resources internally, on people and availability of space. So if you saw the growth from, for example, from Enapter, this has only happened if you have a big pocket available from where you can grow. And in my vision, I think we can double, yes. We can also go easily, in my understanding, to 100 million in the next couple of years. But we have to make sure we do this on a safe way. We cannot grow too dramatically fast. This creates problems, especially on quality. And one of our main drivers is we will look in quality. We will not look in the cheapest solutions. We want to have the most safest and most highest quality in the market.
A question from the chat: is JAG manufacturing the parts used itself, or sourcing and assembling the products for the projects?
Both. That means several of these components, what we're buying, we modify them. We optimize them in the function. We take a look how we can make it better, but also we have to buy products. And give you an example, for all these IM electrolyzers, you need a dryer to to take the moisture from the electrolyzer out of the gas. So, and we build products like the dryer for the hydrogen applications, which fulfills the requirements for fuel cell applications.
And as you already mentioned, you have more orders, more order requests than you can possibly fulfill. Is there a specific market or region that you now focus on, or where do you plan to expand? What's your strategy?
You know, the whole world market has changed. So, and we had also painful experience with Russia, with China, and at the moment we will focus our business activity to the US, especially we are since a couple of years working with one of the big truck suppliers in Phoenix, and Canada is also for us critical important, and Europe as well. We not touch in a big way at the moment India. The reason is India is, for example, at the moment mostly driven to look for cheaper solutions, and we are not a supplier for cheap solutions. We are suppliers for highest quality levels, and highest quality cannot be cheap.
And as you already said, you're a leading provider of gas supply systems for the automotive industry. Maybe you can touch again shortly on JAG's history and how you've become that leader in that industry.
Yeah, the key point was in the middle of the 90s, there was requested emission testing for all the combustion engines. And if you like to test all these engines, you also need a calibration gas systems, which make sure the analyzers calibrating the right exhaust. And this is from where we are experts in the past. I'm originally coming from an automotive supplier in the north of Germany, and therefore we developed systems for the German car makers, for the American car makers, Russia and India as well. And therefore we build the best systems in the world of span gas, of calibration gas systems for this emission testing. But and we saw this early enough. In 2010, there was clear from emission testing side, there will become a change of fuels. So we will not have fuels in a long term, they not have enough green touch. So from that point was clear we will have different fuels, synthetic fuels will come, hydrogen, we heard today, natural gas applications. So everything is in a movement, and therefore we as a gas expert, for us is hydrogen the perfect gas.
Excellent. So looking at the time, I don't think we have time for another question. So thank you very much.
Thank you as well, and have a good day. Thank you.